Yes, son, we are live. I think we're live. I think we're all live. I think we are all live in the studio. You see this? You see these boys? They won't want to be the one messing with these guys. We say that at least like 400 times a day. It's worth it.
I'd hate to be the guy that mess with these guys.
If you guys don't know that meme, you need to somehow Google like monster tattoo meme and yeah, just enjoy that.
You need that in your life.
You meme that in your life for sure.
You meme that in your life? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I did.
Show before a show. This is not the show.
Not the show. This is a fake show. Before Lucas Seibert gets in here, the boys, Will Moriarty, what's up, dog? How are you doing today? You got your boys coming on this Stout. We got a trio of Stout guys about to join the show. Maximilian here, Padmore here, Andrew Paula here, Chance Lowe here. What's up, fellas? The gang is all here. So Seibert's going to be joining us momentarily. I'm actually sending him the link right now, and he has it now. So he should be joining any second. Ride Dog in his office. I'm in the studio. As you see, no.
What just happened?
Oh, boy. Unbelievable. His AirPods just connected to the computer there.
No, they connected quickly. I don't know why.
I don't know.
Just muted
I mean, I got a notification on the screen that said Ryan's AirPods connected. But we're good now.
It connected to the studio.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So young Daniel Manuel is not here, unfortunately. I believe the young protege is having some car troubles. Is that what happened? Car troubles?
I mean, he had a work from home day earlier and today, and I don't remember which day was what, but there's
gotta love that. Gotta love that. Seth Donovan, Timbo, Jim Taylor. My goodness, everybody's joining today. Must be a good day. Ashton Sipes. Shout out Ashton Sipes. Just saw him downtown in Washington. We were setting up for the 247 home remodeling show. For some reason, Ryan conned me into helping him set up the tent for that. Not sure how that happened, but it did. I'm not good at like building stuff either, but I gotta say, kind of proud of my performance. Kind of proud of my. That was funny. That was a good one. Lucas is backstage. I see Lucas right now. You want to just tag this dude in, Ryan?
No, it's 2:58. He's not.
Oh, he's early. All right. We told the people Lucas would be here at 3, and it's 2:58.
3 o'clock. Here's the thing: people will feel like they missed out if they're on time.
Yeah,
they should see 100% of Lucas.
We got an Ola in the chat. Ola Joaga 4, and so. Seibert just pulled the anti-McGregor. You know how McGregor always shows up late for everything, makes people wait on him? Seibert showed up early. That's interesting.
That's because he's his own person. He's not trying to be someone else.
Is that called pulling a Chandler? If you're not pulling a McGregor, it's a Chandler instead.
So wait, what's going on with that?
I don't know anything. I don't know. I have no idea. It seems like it's not going to happen to me, but I have no reason to think that.
Here's the thing. Well, you do have a reason to think that because they canceled a thing and then they were real shady with another thing. And like they may have like put out some feelers for a new main event thing. And like, yeah, there's reasons to think that.
Maybe.
Guys, I'm not staying. I'm just letting you know. I'm just here for the show before the show. And it's now the show. The show has started.
All right, Lucas Seibert to the stage. Let's go. There he is. What's up, man?
What's up?
What up? Is that a Columbus shirt?
It is.
Oh, look at that. Is that a vintage boy? It looks vintage.
It's like a homage type shirt. It's pretty popular.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Did you link up with the Closet or something? Are you doing something with them?
Yeah. We're figuring some stuff between me, the Closet, and Underdog. As far as we're gonna drop some cool stuff. Underdog's working some video stuff that will be really cool, kind of telling my story, the story that kind of hasn't been told about me. So I think it'll be kind of dope.
Whoa, is that coming out before the fight, or is this like an ongoing project?
It's an ongoing thing. I think it'll be filmed before the fight. But it'll be like, all at once.
Dude, that's sick. I had no idea that was going down. How'd you get hooked up with them?
I live right next to the closet. So I was talking to the dude, made some connections. He was like, "You should get with this brand." I was like, "I like them." So we're working on some stuff. We should have some cool stuff figured out. Definitely gonna have some gear with Underdog. Probably not this fight, but maybe be able to launch it directly after or before my next fight.
That's awesome, man. That's moving on up. And you've always kind of like, you had t-shirts even as an amateur. I feel like you've always been a guy that's been drawn to collaborating with people that you like, people that you support. Like, you've always wanted to help out the people who help you. So that whole collaboration thing, that's got to be like right up your alley, right?
Yeah, I like it. And I like that, like, obviously at first it was like, just friends with local businesses. There wasn't much money coming to it. But now it's starting to, like, have its own kind of, financial benefit too. And, starting to be able to work with people that, like, are a little bit higher profile, and then eventually get further and further. But I also love building stuff. So I think being a part of building it, like Underdog, all come. So I think it'll work out.
Well, we definitely appreciate that mentality too, because we obviously recognize, it got you on a multi-fight deal. And so obviously you believed in us enough and we believed in you enough to help each other grow and build as well. So it's kind of that same mentality on our level. Where that's concerned, I wanted to talk, because we talked in the past a lot about like how you map out your career, and it's mostly one fight at a time, but for sure you have a bigger picture too for your career. So when you sign the multi-fight deal with us, like, how do you envision your career by the end of the deal? Like, where do you think you'll be whenever it's time to either renegotiate or go somewhere bigger?
I think I'll be 3-4 fights deep. I don't know if I'm gonna be 3-0, 4-0, 3-1, 4, or whatever. I'm gonna have fights that are, some tough fights, and be able to represent Pittsburgh, be able to compete in Pittsburgh, which is something I really value. And the way I think of it is building a fan base around me, people being able to see me grow as a fighter, having a connection with me when I make the bigger show. That way I have a fan base around here. I lost you.
Can you hear him?
No, I lost him.
No one can hear you, Hunter, which is great. So the question I have is, what's it like to have this guy asking you a million freaking questions in a different way every time, but they're the same question?
Dude, he somehow manages to interview and still get different answers out of me every time. So, Hunter's pretty damn good at his job. I'll give him that.
That's what's up. Can you guys hear me again?
Yeah. My phone connected to the studio this time.
Dude, see, it's not me. It's not me, ladies and gentlemen. It's Ryan connecting to the computer I'm using with all of his freaking 8 million Bluetooth devices. That's what it is. Your Vision Pros are going to be next.
At least you could hear us
yeah. I could hear that compliment. I do appreciate that, Lucas. But it's kind of funny that you say that, because we have, at this point, what is it, like the 4th or 5th podcast?
I mean, probably more than that, because we've done 2 in person, we've done a couple online. I mean, at this point, we're pretty high at the numbers. We're probably around 10. Yeah.
There's been a lot, and it's, your career every step of the way. It's easy for me because Ryan's like, I hope he's half joking about asking the same questions, but I feel like it's half joking because your career warrants different questions every time. You know what I mean? Like, you've taken different steps every time. So of course the things I want to ask you are a little different every time. And now, last time it was obviously all about making your pro debut. Now I want to ask you about moving up 10 pounds to take on a stocky brown belt in jiu-jitsu. It seems to me, Lucas, to be a horrible matchup, I'm just speaking true. Like if I was going to pick somebody to beat you, that's the kind of guy I would pick, and you went for it. So what's that all about?
I like challenges. And believe it or not, I'm about fighting. You know, I think that gets a little bit lost with me when it comes with all the promotion and all this and that. Like, I will fight anybody that will sign the contract. You know, obviously it's about playing your career a little bit smart. But this one made sense. So we were like, screw it, you know. I don't think that, you know, when I look at his credentials or I guess his, there's nothing I'm not seeing at my gym that is, you know, like I train with black belts, I train with brown belts, you know, short people will be all right.
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Go ahead, Ryan.
He said short people. So like, I just want you to know that like anything short of a cartwheel and about, like, I'm a little disappointed. Just throwing that out there. You've set a high standard.
Dude, here's the thing is like, I might not be like I got nothing to lose in this fight, right? If, you know, in my opinion, me with nothing to lose is a dangerous ass dude. I've been playing ahead the whole time. So I think, you know, me with nothing to lose, that's a dangerous motherfucker.
Oh, that's exciting, bro.
You had some other potential bouts that were close or fell through. Like, you've been kind of through a bunch of different mental opponents along the way with this fight, which is a little different. Most of them we got to fight for you, and then you settled in. How did you deal with having to mentally like think you're going up against this guy, then this guy, then this guy? There were quite a few names there.
I mean, I live this sport, so you know, my whole life I'm a professional. So, you know, my whole life is designed and structured in the way that I'm ready to take a fight on, you know, notice. And I got a lot of different people. There was times I was like, you know, I thought there was a couple fights that were after the Gavin fell through. Like, I thought there was a couple people that were like, all right, we got one, and they didn't work out for whatever reason. Hopefully we can, you know, go back to those later. But this dude was game, and I was with it.
Are there any names that that came across that come to your mind that like you'd like to see in the future?
I'd like to fight, you know, after this fight, I'd like to fight Jacob Ashley. He's 3-0 bantamweight. I'd like to fight him whenever the new venue opens.
Nice.
Well, that could be a little longer than we want.
We'll see.
I'd like to fight him before you have another card.
There we go.
That sounds a lot better.
Yeah. All right. I mean, it might not be though. Who knows? Who knows with the venue?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen when it happens. It'll be great. It'll be super fantastic. But I do want to zero in on the going up 10 pounds in weight thing to 145. It's not common to see guys who do have, you know, really lofty goals, who see themselves maybe UFC bound someday, wherever you think you're going. I know you set really high goals. It's not common to see prospects like that go up in weight, to risk it like that. So did that play any factor at all into the decision making? Does that matter at all? Like, do you feel roughly the same at 45 as you do at 35? Just how did you handle that situation?
Yeah, I don't care. I think it's like, yeah, I do have good goals, but I think, you know, first and foremost with those goals, you have to win fights. So if I can't get a fight, then what's the point? You know, like, nobody would fight me at 135. Well, it is what it is. I'll go up to 45, right? We had to open the pool up. And I was cool with it. I mean, it's not like he's like 145, right? I'm not fighting Max Holloway or somebody that's like an outrageously big 145. So I think that might be a little bit of a factor. But also, like, you know, I'm trying to get places, right? Yeah. So I got to fight to get there.
Yeah. No, that definitely makes perfect sense. And your pro debut, man, I want to talk about that just for a second. We talked about it on a different podcast, I think, maybe, or maybe I've just heard you on other podcasts, but it couldn't have gone much better, dude. Like, obviously, the end result, you got tested a little bit in the first round too, which I think was good.
Yeah.
For your development and everything. What did you take away from that fight? Obviously, the highlight reel finish is what everybody remembers, but I assume you've drilled into it a little more. Like, what do you take away from that fight?
One thing I take away is like professional. It's different. It's different. A whole different thing. Professional fights are different than amateur fights. The rounds are different. Obviously, the rule set's different. It feels different. Whatever that is, right? And I wasn't somebody I put a lot of pressure on myself in my amateur career, but there was something different about it. As far as things I learned is like game planning, executing a game plan, doing things that I wanted to implement into a fight, were things I was very like impressed with myself about. And like, it wasn't sunshine and rainbows, right? It wasn't the easiest fight in the world. I got cracked, learned I could take the first time I got hit, to be honest, like hard at least. So I think I learned a lot in that fight. I think a lot of people learned a lot about me. And I think that I'm game to do it again.
Hunter. I don't know what's going on here, brother. This one isn't me.
I don't know either. We back?
Oh,
This is crazy. I don't know. We've got all kinds of technical difficulties in the studio.
This is what happens when Danny's not here.
You see it? You see, we need you, Danny Palm. Never leave us again, bro. Yeah, I lost the tail end of what you said there, Lucas, but I wanna end real quick before we get Miguel in here. We got to talk about the fact that this is a main event. Like, this is a different kind of opportunity for your career. Obviously, you were a big attraction for your pro debut, but you weren't the main event of that card. Now you do get that main event status. Does that feel different to you, or business as usual? Is this all part of your plan? Like, how's it feel headlining your first show?
It's cool. It's a cool opportunity. There's always something new. Every fight, it's like, pro debut or title fight, or, now it's main event. In my head, like, for the people that come and show up for me, I've heard other fighters say this, like, I am the main event. You know what I mean? They are coming to watch me. At the end, I'm just the end of the card this time. It's a day card, which I think is so cool. I love that idea, be able to get more families there a little bit, with it being during the day, which I'm really, really excited about. I'm trying to get like the kids and stuff I teach, because I teach a lot in Monroeville, so it worked out really well. And it's an opportunity for me to own the moment, as I have my entire career.
Beautiful. And if people want to support you on this one, like you said, I love that line. I was always the main event, but now I'm just the last fight on the card. That's great. But if people do want to come support you for this, what's the best way for them to get tickets for you?
Best way to get tickets, QR code. I think that worked out really well for me, the whole QR code thing. I have a QR code at the front desk at the Stout main location in the Strip, Monroeville. I believe there's one at the Zealy location. Clean Eats. I work at Clean Eats in Blawnox, Fox Chapel. We have a QR code here. Getting a lot of support there. So if you guys are interested in meal plans and stuff like that, hit me up directly about that too. And then follow me on Instagram, Lucas Seibert. It's my name. Switch the letters. The ticket link is in the bio, and that is to 21 and a half, not the 22 show. Just be sure, we've been trying to clarify with everybody, the Stout people for the most part are fighting on the 21 and a half show. So if you want to watch the Stout people specifically, and you can't make it to both fights, obviously, come to 21 and a half and the main event, so you're not going to want to miss it.
Love it, dude. Well, we're honored to have you main eventing. Always honored to have you back in our cage, obviously. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Lucas Seibert. We got his teammate Miguel Francisco waiting backstage right now. So we're gonna tag him in with Lucas for a second. Now we get both of them on screen at once, and now I'm gonna kick Lucas out. You want to tell Miguel hi first?
Hi, Miguel. What's up, buddy?
All right. Peace, Lucas. Thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah.
Later. All right, ladies and gentlemen, straight into the next one. Miguel Francisco. I need to work on like my Luke Payson intro. He always intros fighters like he's Bruce Buffer. I'm not as smooth with it, but how you doing there, Miguel? Got the
wait. He doesn't try to be Bruce Buffer. He tries to be Drew.
Well, that's the highest bar. I thought he was working his way up to Drew. You got to be like Bruce
he's shooting right for the stars.
Gary Lewis in here already, Miguel. What's up?
Yeah, man, I'm feeling good. Just ready to get this these couple weeks over so we can get to the fight.
I'm sure. The sugar shirt, obviously, we can start there, man. You went down to Arizona, trained there with that crew a little bit. What was that experience like for you, bro?
It was a pretty surreal experience being that the best person at our weight class at this current time. Like I've got to train with, and just being in that environment, seeing how he works and having his mindset. Just knowing that that's definitely like somewhere that I can strive to be very soon. And it's good to be in that environment of people when you're with that high level.
Yeah. Did it feel like Kama Worthy always says levels of this game? You know, a lot of people say that, but it's kind of Kama's thing after his fights. Did you sense a levels to this game kind of situation when you were down with them, or did it just inspire you even more? Like you're not that far off?
Yeah, there definitely were levels, but it wasn't something that it was unachievable. I was just me looking there, be like, well, in a couple of years, I could definitely be like that. I just got to commit myself and keep training.
It's crazy you say a couple years, man. It feels like you have been around the game for so long, but you're still super young and obviously about to make your pro debut. It's wild the amount of experience you've had, not just in MMA, but grappling, boxing, everything. It just seems like you've lived and breathed combat sports like since you were a teenager, really, and probably even before that, right? When did your journey officially start?
I started doing martial arts in 2007 because I was getting bullied, so I wanted to stop getting beat up, so I wanted to learn how to fight. And I've just been doing stuff ever since then. I had my first like official fight in 2014, so it's been 10 years since I've been competing.
So you were 14 years old when you had your first fight?
Yeah.
Was it boxing or what was the
boxing?
Okay. What was the result there?
I lost my first boxing match, but then a month later I did kickboxing, and I felt a lot more comfortable in that aspect because I felt like I got to use more of my tools. So I think MMA is just more my thing because I just get to use everything that I get to do.
Nice. You got a shout out from Seth Donovan on IG, and you also got Alan Liu saying Miguel looking adorable as ever.
That's
what everybody thinks. Miguel is pretty adorable. But dude, we got this pro debut, which we've been working on for how long now? You know, it's fallen through so many times.
Bro.
Finally got Pat Carasquillo, 6'2", I believe, super long, super lanky. At 140, it's crazy. How are you preparing for somebody just of his build? We'll just start there. That's got to be a unique challenge in its own.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just trying to I try to work with as many people locally that are just tall. I don't really care about the weight class because there's not really that many people at my weight class at that height. So I've just been working with a lot of people that are bigger than me, just because the size difference and then the height wise. So I just been working with a bunch of tall people, and it's been helping a lot. It definitely changes the game up a lot because the reach is completely different compared to the average like 35ers probably like between 5'6" and 5'8". So it's definitely a different game, but. I've been training my whole life, so it's nothing that I'm not used to. So it's just another day in the office.
It's how every fight of yours feels, man, or grappling match or whatever. Like you're always super prepared. You're always ready to go. Pretty much it seems to me at least that you're in fight shape pretty much year round. Is that accurate?
Always train. I'm always training. I'm never out of shape. So if somebody give me a fight like next week, if you guys were like, hey, we got an event after this, you want to do Brawl in the Burgh in the evening, I'll be like, I'll do that too.
Well, now that you say that, I think there might now. Unfortunately, there are no openings on that card. That card is totally full and locked in.
This is stacked. Hopefully this one, the 21.5 fills out too completely again.
It's looking good. Yeah. I would love to hit 14 on each card. That would be crazy to max out with the commission at 14 on both cards. That'd be amazing for sure.
That'd be definitely, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt, dude. Can you confirm Anthony Hogeback's comment here? I just want to make sure. Miguel got 6'5" arms.
So we did a reach test. It's not 6'5". It's I pretty much have this. If Pat is the same, his reach is as long as his height. We have like pretty much the same reach. I have a 72-inch reach. We just checked it out, so I got pretty long arms for my weight class.
That's pretty wild. I definitely did not realize that. But the other aspect besides the height, obviously, is the weight at 140. Obviously, right between two major weight classes, 35 and 45. I know you eventually want to be at 35. Was the decision to fight at 40 just because that's kind of what you could get, or did you want to do kind of like a test in between before going pro at 35?
I honestly just wanted to it's been so hard to get a fight. And I saw that Pat was a 45er and he was down to fight at 140 because I feel like he's trying to slowly cut down. So I was at this point, I just wanted to get a fight. So honestly, I was fine with whatever weight he wanted to fight at.
Love that. You got anything for him, Ryan? Toss it to you.
You're doing a great job for the first time. Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Always throwing shade. But Miguel, obviously, one of my favorite things about watching you fight, man, is that you never know. Like a lot of fighters, obviously, they super favor kickboxing or they favor boxing or they favor wrestling or whatever. With you, I don't know what you favor, man. I never know like what route Miguel's fight could go. It's just wherever it goes, I feel like you're very comfortable there. How do you see yourself as a fighter? Like, how do you label yourself as a fighter?
I like to label myself as a jack of all trades. I'm not like super like perfect at a specific aspect of MMA, but I'm well rounded, and I think that works out for me in my fights. So like whenever I fought Chance, he was a grappler, and I ended up striking, but I also ended up grappling in the fight as well. So like I'm comfortable anywhere, but I don't excel in any specific spot, in my opinion. So I guess there's positives and negatives to that, but I'm fine with wherever it goes.
So if you were like a UFC character, like in the video game, what would be your highest rated skill, do you think?
I don't even know.
Just
whenever Bruce Buffer announces my name, it's going to be the look-see-do fighter, like how they would do with John Jones. That's probably what they'd announce me with.
That's fun.
I'm fine with anything.
It's kind of funny because we have to joke about it, like it's almost a meme at this point, how many gyms you train at. But do you think that's why you're so well-rounded? Because you've just bopped around all these different specialty gyms?
Yeah, I think so. Because getting different looks from everybody. I mean, right now I'm in Virginia right now with because I'm at my sister's-in-law graduation, so I'm training in Virginia right now at the gym in Virginia. So I'm literally just training with anybody that I can. So I guess that's a good thing because I get different looks no matter where I go.
What gym in Virginia are you at?
Kaizen, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
There's a guy fighting on the evening card on that. So
I got
a little bit today too. So it's kind of cool.
That's sweet. Yeah, Sean Brooks is fighting Jay Manning. Jeez.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tom. Tom already fought him, actually. That's funny that's the mess up I made. But Sean, so you said there at the end that you got to meet Sean. You know Sean a little bit?
Yeah, we got to work around a little bit today, but I don't know him personally. Since he's a little bit bigger than me, I work in a lot with like the 25ers and the 35ers right now. There's a few guys that are my size that I've been working with a lot. So, but it's
That's great.
Good
Yeah,
gym.
Neem's got a great gym down there, man. The roster is crazy. Their roster is super deep. Is it like that when you go into train? Just a lot of bodies?
Yeah, it is. It's a good training.
Seems like it. On the home front, obviously, you still rep Stout primarily. How have they helped your transition into the pro ranks? Has anything changed with preparation when you turn pro for you guys, or is it just you're preparing for another fight?
So Mike has like these specific pro classes that we do in the morning. But besides that, it's just regularly what we do normally. Just there's little extra pro classes in the morning that we add, which is more skill based. There's not really we're not really like breaking a sweat or anything. It's more just we're talking about technique and just building that IQ.
Yeah, it's interesting because we were talking about how well rounded you are and everything like that. How excited are you to show off some new pro tools? Maybe a head kick, a knee to the head, elbow, the new rules that come into play. What's that feel like for you?
I'm super excited just to be able to showcase all of my abilities, being able to throw elbows and just not feeling so limited, like there's been fights where I just feel like I've had to hold back because I couldn't do what I wanted to do completely. And now just being able to throw whatever I want, not have to think about certain rules helps a lot.
Yeah, we talked about it with Lucas in terms of his career arc, if you will, like where he wants to go from here and how he wants to work his way up. How do you envision your career, Miguel? Because you're a guy who, to me, has always clearly been in it for the long haul. But how, or when rather, do you envision that? What kind of timeline are you looking at for your pro career?
I've always been like telling myself that like around maybe 2027 I'll be in the Contender Series, so that's a good goal of mine.
That's awesome, man. So not rushing anything by any means.
I just want to get as many fights as I can. If it comes sooner, then so be it. But I'm hoping no later than then.
I just saw your opponent.
Pat just joined it.
Yeah. Pat Carasquilla just joined the live stream. What up, Pat? Talking about you, talking about your lanky frame, and talking to Miguel, obviously, about the fight. That's a banger. We cannot wait for that one.
I'm excited, man. It's gonna be a really good fight, and I know he's super game, so I know there's just all respect there. I'm not a trash talker, and I'm sure he's not either. So I'm just excited that we're gonna be able to throw it down.
Yeah, dude. Two good dudes for sure with both of you guys. There's no doubt about that.
We'll do the trash talking for you guys.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
We'll use AI and just dub this whole interview to make Miguel say the wildest stuff. We also had James Padmore in the chat. Got to shout out Padmore, man. He said, I just love these stout guys. And Padmore's got a big title fight coming up out near Philly, I believe, too, next weekend. So that's big. Let's go.
Dude, he's got like the whole facial hair thing, and he was wearing a hat at the stout fights. Like I had to double take to realize who it was, man.
He's Padmore 2.0 right now, I think.
Yeah. He looked smaller for sure, thinner, I should say, leaner, I should say. I don't mean to say small because he's not a small guy. No matter how light he gets, he's not small. But he looked leaner for sure. He looked like he was in great shape. So I'm super excited for that fight. Pat said, excited to see you guys in a few weeks. Looking forward to it. So he's hyped too. All respect all the way around. I love a fight like that. Not bad blood, but two dudes ready to get after it in their pro debut until, somebody's going down in that one. No doubt.
This fight has some storylines to it as well, with Pat having been a part of 247 history. He was our first fight ever. And he's 2-0 in the cage. So he's I think he was it was his second amateur fight. It was our first fight period. So pretty cool stuff, and we're looking forward to seeing how this all shapes up with two guys that have been in the 247 cage quite a bit. And Miguel, you've fought for us 3 times, is that right?
4 if you count the grappling.
Yep.
Makes sense.
So both these guys are familiar. However, since it's been a while since Pat's been in the cage. I think the last time he was in the cage was 2019. So it's a new cage, bigger cage, new experience. It's gonna be awesome.
To be clear there, we just mean the last time he's been in our cage. He's fought since then. It's not like he's coming off I just didn't want any viewer to think you meant he hasn't fought since 2019.
He got like 14, something like that.
Crazy amateur career. Yeah, 7-6, something like 13 fights. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely crazy.
Yes.
Jared Billy said, I love that Miguel's repping a 247 shirt on the podcast. It's not a 247 shirt, but it could be. I mean, let's call it one. Why not? We do. We sell Sugar Sean O'Malley apparel now. We are the official apparel provider of the UFC Bantamweight champion.
I do have the new shirt on, so check out the new.
I got the new one, but I mean, yeah, we got shirts coming all over the place, and we got a new shirt coming down as well. Well, it's not really a shirt. It is.
Yeah, not a shirt.
Yeah,
there's some cool gear. Definitely some cool merch coming out. So you got to get your tickets. Brawl in the Burgh, 21.5. Miguel, people are watching and people want to know, like, tell them why they should buy the ticket to the afternoon card.
Well, there's going to be a bunch of Stout guys on that card, and every fight that we are on, we always put on a performance. So you guys better come.
No doubt about that. Have you found it easier to sell to your people? Because obviously you bring a big crowd every fight of yours. You know, I'll just call it out. Miguel brings a good crowd, gets a lot of hype with his people. Have you found it easier to sell for pro debut? Like, is that an angle that you can tell your people are really excited for?
To be honest, it's a little bit harder right now just because the last fight fell through. So everybody's kind of waiting until everybody's telling me that they're waiting till last minute to just make sure the fight doesn't fall through. But I know Pat's a game guy, and it's not going to fall through. So I'm trying to convince everybody to just get their tickets now.
Yeah. I mean, he's already in the Instagram chat talking about how excited he was. Does that sound like a guy that's going to pull out? People, come on, get those tickets for Miguel. Jared Billy said, sorry, I meant Ryan, not Miguel. He mixed them up.
We look alike. We do look alike.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I mixed you up when you came in, Miguel. I was like, why is Ryan here twice? That's crazy.
Yeah, and then you were like double. You really concentrating. Like, that's not Ryan.
Had to squint. Phil Amaris in here saying Miguel is must watch. Let's go. Must watch Miguel.
And Pat says buy the tickets. Don't wait, because this fight is happening, folks.
Boom.
Hey, we're gonna make it fight of the night, so you guys better come.
Is that a call for meat bucks, Miguel?
Hey, if it's fight of the night, maybe me and Pat can both get the meat bucks.
Dude, look at that. See how nice guy. So I got to share Hogaback's comment. Yeah. Look at Hogaback said, let's get Miguel a nicest MFer belt. That's awesome. Like, we got the BMF, we got the NMF. Is Wonder Boy technically, did UFC actually do that, or was that just like talk?
But I think that counts.
Yeah, it has to count, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, man, fight of the night does get Meat Bucks, Strip District Meat Bucks, obviously one of our sponsors. It's actually the ticker at the bottom of the screen right now. I did not plan it that way, but it works that way sometimes. So Strip District Meats.
But they give one away, not two. It's not
Correct.
Fighter or something.
They might split it. You could split it.
Performance of the night.
Yeah. So what that is, just for people who maybe aren't familiar with the Meat Bucks, is Strip District Meats basically gives a shopping spree to the fighter who is most impressive on the card. It's a performance of the night bonus for the most impressive fighter we've had. Justin Patton's actually won it twice. He's the only two-time winner. Lucas actually won it. James Leto won it. Glenn Christner, Cody Matthews. I'm trying to think who else. Craig Perry won it. We've given out a lot of meat bucks for sure. Evan DeRusi won it.
And just to kind of preview, once we have the new venue, we already have a deal in place for another fighter bonus situation. So that's exciting stuff. We're looking forward to introducing Arena Bucks.
Yeah. Arena Bucks at Sunny Days Arena at the venue. Coming soon. I guess you guys will just have to stay tuned to see what those are all about. But they're going to be very fun too. I'm stoked about that. But it's cool, man. Miguel, is this your first time in our new cage, by the way?
Yeah.
Nice.
He grappled in it, no?
Did you grapple?
No, when I grappled, it was still the old cage.
Wow. Wow, that's ridiculous. So are you hyped about that? Does it change anything for you? I know like some fighters could tell a difference. I remember the first time Justin Patton was in it. I specifically remember he leaned back. You know how a fighter, when they get close to the cage wall, they kind of lean into it, and he leaned and it wasn't there. Like, does the size of the cage matter to you at all, or does it excite you to be in a slightly bigger cage?
Yeah, I noticed whenever I fought for my Cage Wars fight in December, because I think their cage is about how big your guys is now, and it definitely made a big difference. I think it helps more for the strikers for the bigger cage, so I'm excited.
Makes sense. I love it, dude.
It's not the size of the cage that matters.
It's the size of the fighter in the cage. I don't know. Yeah, it didn't work at all. Didn't work at all. We tried. We do have Joao backstage now, chilling in his little gamer chair, it looks like. So we're going to get you out of here, Miguel. Enjoy Virginia, man. Tell the Kaizen crew we all said what's up, and we're excited to work with them. And then we'll see you back here, brother. June 29th, Brawl in the Burgh 21.5.
Thank you. Shout out to all my sponsors too. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Later, bro.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to add this beautiful two-time winner on a winning streak. Joao Martinez wins his first MMA fight at Brawl in the Burgh 21, turns right around, wins a Muay Thai fight for Stout Fights, and now you're back for more. Are you the most active fighter in Pittsburgh? You got to be, right?
I hope so. I mean, that's the goal right now. Just keep taking as many as I can while I'm healthy and able.
What is like? Does anything go through your mind on that level? Is it just if my physical health is there, I'm going to fight, or is it like? I guess what I'm trying to say is I always hear how mentally draining a fight can be for guys, right? Like it's not just physical; it's so much mental also. So I would imagine to go back to back to back to back is just like mental strain on top of mental strain. It's got to be like exponential at that point. Do you even account for that, or are you just like
It doesn't really bother me
oblivious to
much, honestly. I like fighting. You do get like a pretty shitty like come down after the fight's done, like the day after. But I'd rather like take my brain damage where it counts instead of like wasting cells in the gym. So I just drill a lot in the gym, and that's why I'm able to continue fighting so much because I'm not really getting beat up in practice.
That certainly makes a lot of sense. But obviously, preparing for the fight is crucial. You got to be prepared. And I know you guys at Stout don't take training easily. So, what are Will and Josh now? It's weird. First Muay Thai fight in 247 FC history. Instead of saying Mike and Will, get to talk about Josh and Will now for the Muay Thai crew because Joe will be competing in Muay Thai, not MMA. So you got this Muay Thai matchup at Brawl in the Burgh 21.5. What's that feel like representing, the first ever 247 Fighting Championships Muay Thai bout?
It's pretty cool. Honestly, the only thing that I would like to change about it is using 4 ounces and no headgear. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I mean, being able to do just striking in a cage, especially like locally, is going to be pretty cool because you can't kick people in the head in amateurs here for MMA. So that's no fun.
Yeah, it was interesting. So Ryan and I were at Stout Fights. Obviously, I know we saw you there, but we got to take that in, and it was interesting to see head kicks being thrown for amateurs. Like despite shin guards and headgear, I don't think. Well, actually, has Brody knocked somebody out with those rules with a head kick?
I'm not sure. I think he's done it with shin guards, but
that's crazy. So if you're knocking somebody out with shin guards and they're wearing headgear, that's a pretty significant kick.
Yeah,
pretty ridiculous. But what is that for you? Your fights in MMA have mostly been stand-up based as well. So I always got the feeling, that you favored stand-up and Muay Thai. But how are the two sports for you? How different are they? How different is the preparation? And then how different does it feel once you're in there?
They actually don't feel like too different at all. When I started training, I was training like under a pro rule set. I was using elbow pads. I was throwing head kicks. So like then having to like dial it like down with that was actually really difficult for me because those were like my main tools. So now, going into MMA, I had to really focus on just boxing, low kicking, things of that nature. So I can not get disqualified. So now that I'm like doing Muay Thai with full rules, it's pretty cool to have I guess the ability to not handicap myself. So it feels about the same, and I'm gonna try to fight MMA in states where I'm allowed to have a similar rule set, just so I don't have to keep switching between like the way that I do my striking. You guys hear me? Oh no. I can't hear anything.
How this keeps happening. I don't know how this keeps happening. But your AirPods connected again, Ryan? It's ridiculous. But yeah, no, I heard you the whole way, Joel.
I'm blaming you.
Yeah, blame me. That's fine. That's how things go around here. It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. But yeah, Joel, that honestly, that totally checks out. I can see it being confusing or difficult for fighters bouncing between when the rule set changes and everything. But now, you're working your way up in MMA as well. Your next fight, I think you should qualify for advanced rules, actually. So that's a little exciting. You get to lose the shin guards. You get to have some ground and pound, things like that. Are you excited to kick the shin guards off and actually kick somebody with your literal shin instead of a pad?
Oh yeah, definitely. I hate shin pads. They suck. Also, like I think I kick pretty hard, and I don't think people would be eating the kicks that I send if I was bare shin.
Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it's a huge difference, obviously, and I don't necessarily mind the novice amateur rules in Pennsylvania like a lot of people. I think they serve a very clear purpose, and they're necessary for a lot of fighters' progression. But I also think we're starting to see debut amateur fighters that look like low-level pros used to look 10 years ago. Like, the evolution of the sport is so different now that the amateurs coming in aren't what they were when these rules were made. So I think it may be time to start to take a little bit of a look at them. But for the most part, I don't mind it. But it is exciting to think about you being able to get in there without the shin guards, really showcase your full arsenal. And I wanted to point out at that Stout Fights card, to me, it was very obvious that as the fight wore on, you just got more and more and more comfortable. I remember the last minute of that fight, you were pretty much just styling. How good were you feeling there that last minute or so?
I felt amazing, honestly. Like that, even the entire fight, I felt really confident. But towards the end, it was like when I reached that flow state, and I just was doing anything. I didn't feel like scared of being punished for anything that I was throwing. I knew that I could do whatever I wanted to do at that point, and it was awesome.
How risky is that when you start to feel like that, or in that moment, that doesn't even cross your mind?
It didn't cross my mind at all. Like I obviously knew that like some of the shit that I threw was extremely like high risk. Like I threw like a jumping switch kick. That was dumb as fuck. I threw a spinning back kick. There's things that I could get punished for right there. I'm jumping in the air, both my feet are off the ground. The spinning back kick, my back is turned to him. But like at that point, it's a fight. Things are going to be chaotic. It's high risk, high reward. It looked cool, so I'm excited to get that video.
Yeah, dude, you had a good crowd there too. I want to say you had a good supportive crowd, which you have at our fights as well. A really, really passionate fan base, man. What's it like having that support system behind you, and what does it feel like for you as you're walking to the cage and when you're in there? Can you feel them cheering for you? Can you feel that energy? Are you aware of their presence on fight night?
Yeah, it makes it feel so like I'm not alone in the cage or in the ring, and I also know that like they care about me. It's not just like they're not just fans. So like I'm not scared of a result when I'm in there. That really like helps me like keep peace of mind that I can just go in there and do my best, and they're gonna support me either way.
Yeah, I love that, man. I love that. Your fans are awesome. The turnout's always awesome for a Joao Martinez fight. Now we've got a Joao Martinez Muay Thai fight, which I just absolutely love, man. I'm honored to have you be the first person in there for us, the first Muay Thai fight in 247 FC history, man. I know we're going to start it with a bang. Never been a boring Joao Martinez fight, win or lose, but I do want to zero in real quick on the MMA win against Nick Petregas, because I don't think we talked about it since the fight, really, but we knew, you started your career, dropped 2 in a row, and then bounced back with that win. What was different in that fight for you, and how good did victory feel?
I think I just kept things very basic during that fight. Like I didn't really take too many risks. I knew how to do the southpaw versus orthodox thing, so I really focused on keeping it simple, and that helped me with that win. And I think in terms of it feeling good, it actually didn't feel that great. I actually both times that I've won, I think I've had more fun after losing. Which is it's kind of weird, but like I think that like the adrenaline and that feeling of winning is so good, and you feel so high that as soon as it wears off, it's extremely depressing. Like versus losing, like it sucks, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not the end of the world.
That actually makes a lot of sense. That makes a ton of sense, actually. We hear from fighters all the time. They win the belt, even they reach the highest high, all the way up to UFC champions, and then they win the UFC belt, and they realize that their life is still the same, and it's like a very depressing realization for them, because they thought it was this golden palace that they've been chasing their whole life, and then they get it, and they're like, oh, that's it? That's it? Is it kind of like that?
Yeah, and that's the UFC belt we're talking about. This is a
Right.
fucking amateur fight. So it's
Right.
even worse. It really doesn't mean anything.
I mean, winning a fight in the 247 cage, winning the UFC belt, pretty much the same prestige, I think. But that's awesome, man. We're stoked for you to be on this card, BitB 21.5, our first ever like day night doubleheader with Muay Thai, amateur MMA, and pro MMA all on the same day. 13 combined pro fights between the two cards, which is just bonkers. That's a wild stat, and I'm excited to see what Muay Thai can do specifically with us in our cage in Pennsylvania as this continues to grow. It's sick to be able to give you guys these opportunities in between MMA fights or supplement your MMA fighting careers. So we're honored to do it, man. Honored that you're the guy to do it. I want you to make one last pitch for people to buy tickets and support you. Why should they come watch Joao Martinez?
Okay, well, if you guys were at my last fight, you would see my kicking style. I got some pretty cool kicks. And this time I got a cage. So I got some bullshit I'm working on that I'm going to land, because if I'm working on it, it's happening. So just be on the lookout for that. I can't spill too many secrets. I'm sure my opponent's watching. But yeah, show up for that. I'm going to use that cage to its full potential.
Tune in June 29th for Joao Martinez's bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. BitB 21.5. Thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to hop on here.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, bro. Later. All right.
Dude,
Joao Martinez.
June 29th is going to be ridiculous.
I can't even believe that this card's real, to be honest. Both cards. The day.
I mean, it's so much fun. There's like a whole slew of awesome fights, and then you're like, oh man, that was awesome. Let's go grab a bite, or like let's go, and then you're like, dude, we get to do this again with 10 more pro fights, 4 like it's just if you're an MMA fan, this is like the day from heaven.
It truly is.
And then when everything wraps up, there might be a Conor McGregor fight after that.
Who knows? It could be like the best day of MMA in Pittsburgh history. In fact, it will be.
I'm going to say that this is the biggest event, the best card assembled in Pittsburgh MMA history, and it's going to be a phenomenal. It's going to be the time of our lives.
Absolutely. It's a crazy stat. We said it on the last podcast. If you guys didn't listen, though, when the UFC was here, they've been here 3 times. The max fights they've had was 13, so 13 pro fights. We have 13 pro fights on June 29th, pro MMA fights on June 29th between the two cards. It's 3 on the first card and 10 on the second card. But still, we're talking about us versus the UFC. I think we deserve a little bit of a handicap on that. That's crazy, dude. It's crazy that we're and the other 2 UFC cards had 11. So like more than 2 of them and tied with the most. Craziness, dude. A crazy day. Plus Muay Thai in the cage.
Muay Thai in the cage for the first time. So if you've ever been wondering, like, oh man, like, why do they have it in a ring? Like, I'd rather see Muay Thai like in the cage. Like, it's here.
And you can tell.
It's here thanks to Ryan Grun in State College. It's here.
That's it. Breaking boundaries, baby. Let's go. Keep pushing this thing forward. And you could already hear from Joao that the cage is going to make a difference. He just competed for Stout Fights, which is in a ring. He's already talking about how he's going to change some things, show some new wrinkles with the cage. So it's fun for the guys. It's going to result in a different brand of Muay Thai, I think. Word on the street is, Ryan Middleton, down the road, pro Muay Thai might be possible. Word on the street.
Word on the street is that pro Muay Thai is happening sometime in 25.
Boom. Let's go. I love the sounds of that. Ladies and gentlemen, the 3 fighters you just heard from, Lucas Seibert, Miguel Francisco, and Joao Martinez, they are all competing June 29th on the noon start card. Brawl in the Burgh 21.5. Tickets are available now at 247fighting.com. The live stream is available at stream247live.com or on the 247 Live app. It's available on iOS, Roku, Apple TV, Android, and Fire TV.
That's a long list.
It sounds like I'm reading. I swear I'm not reading right now.
I've just gotten to the point where I say, like,
Wherever you
have
get
a
an
smart TV,
yeah.
other than a Samsung, you're good.
Right. As long as it's not a Samsung. And I hope we actually, and that's a totally different conversation. It doesn't need to be on air, but we had a dude with the Samsung TV having trouble streaming it. So I hope he figured that out. We should follow up, make sure Uscreen took good care of him. I'm sure they did. They're pretty great. So we're excited. June 29th, Brawl in the Burgh 21.5. Doors open at 11 a.m. at the Monroeville Convention Center. Fights start at noon. And then after that event, we're going to roll into Brawl in the Burgh.
Then,
was that a dude where's my car reference?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, no more ending.
I haven't thought about that movie in years. Oh, man. Nick Petrega's jumping into the chat late. What's up, dude? Hannibal Lecture, one of the best names on Instagram. Love that. And Chris Hustleton. What's up, brother? Excited for June 29th. So after 21.5, which, as we just said, all the athletes you just heard from are competing on that card. We've got an ultra stacked all MMA card at night. Doors open at 5. Fights start at 6. You'll notice that's an hour earlier than our usual cadence because we have 10 professional fights on that card. So that has the potential to be a long night, or maybe not. Maybe they're all finishes and you guys are just out of there early enough to keep the party rolling and enjoy your night.
I'm going to give a public service announcement right now because it needs to be done. Listen, if you want to see the first fight, don't show up at the Monroeville Convention Center at 6 o'clock. Don't show up at 6 o'clock because it's going to take time to get in. At 6 o'clock, the line is going to be a half an hour. I don't know what it'll take. If you want to see the first fight, we open the doors an hour early so that people can come early and assure themselves that they don't miss a single fight. Take advantage of that. Don't show up at 6. Monroeville, like, the traffic to get into Monroeville is awful. Like, leave early. Don't miss the first fight. Don't miss the second fight. Like, people are entering the cage right at 6 o'clock for their fight. Don't arrive at Monroeville at 6 o'clock.
I love that PSA. I'll take it a step further. I'll use a little analogy for all Yinzers out there. Steelers play Sunday, 1 p.m. kickoff. Would you try to enter Heinz Field at 1 p.m. to make the kickoff? Would you show up at 1 and think you're going to make the kickoff? There's a 0% chance that you're going to do that. You're going to get there an hour early, at least, to make sure you don't miss the kickoff. No different for this. There's going to be a lot of people there. Parking is going to be wild. So you want to make sure you get your spot, you get in there, you get to your seat. Don't be the person that misses a fight that ends crazy, and you'll be kicking yourself, and you'll be like, wow, I missed that, and I got nobody to blame but me. It was my fault. So just get there early and be ready because it's going to be a banger.
It's going to be banger.
Banging. All right. That's all I got. That's all I got today.
Yeah,
Peace out, lady.
That's it.
And Jen.
Listen, there's new gear. I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek. I'm not a sneak peek, like not visual. But
Thank God. Whew.
Oh,
sorry.
What?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. No.
Listen, we've designed our own rash cards. That's enough. Enough said.
Let's go.
Bro,
Let's get out of here.
Awesome.
Peace, ladies and
Cut
gentlemen.
the cord.
Come get him June 29th. Get him June 29th in Monroeville. Peace out. Peace, peace, peace.